Hello, happy Sunday, coming in here at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the dot. I'm going to do things a little differently today. It's a very busy day. There's a lot of activity going on here at my house. And so I'm going to pull our cards for the week ahead, and I'm going to keep the camera down to sort of roll through our Monday through Friday. I'm still going to break it up so that you can pop in and check them as you wish throughout the week, but we've got a lot to cover because I was today years old when I realized that the full moon in Gemini is not on Wednesday, it's tomorrow, Monday, the 27th. In my mind, it was the 29th. And so I was like, oh, wow, it's a small business sale weekend. I just got home from traveling. The kids are back to school tomorrow. And it's a full moon that we're going to be kicking off for the empowerment pack for everyone that has been with me this month in November. This is our final reading of the month, and it's a biggie because it's a full moon. It's in the sign of Gemini, and we're really wrapping up 2023 and ramping up for 2024. So I have some real goodies to share in there. So I am going to also offer a special for anyone that wants to come along for this full moon reading. I'm going to be recording it tonight into tomorrow. It's going to be a full reading with a 6-card spread that's going to talk about the energies of this full moon, how you can best work with it, and also kind of give a little preview to the energies that are coming in with some guidance for clearing out and resetting and reconciling and getting set for the new year. It's kind of a precursor to what we'll be talking about in December for the Empowerment Pack, the last one of the year, which is also available now for booking. So there's so much going on. If you are listening to this in the Marco Polo Sharecast, you can look just to the left of this video. You will see all the thumbnails of the polos I made today talking about the gift certificate giveaway that I have, the very special early bird price I have on my biggest reading of the year, the 2024 year ahead spread, and also the December Empowerment Pack is now open for booking if you want to come along for the final month of the year to really wrap things up. We'll be working together for 3 readings throughout the month of December, really tuning into the energies. We're going to have the winter solstice. We're going to be gearing up for 2024. It's a great month to come along and really finish the year strong and empowered. So without further ado, if you're watching this on one of my social media spaces, this is where I pull our collective cards for the week ahead. We have a 5-card spread we do, tapping into our collective energy, and also some bonus cards. We're going to go with the Queen of the Moon Oracle this week because we have that full moon tomorrow, and we've really been enjoying the Angels and Ancestors deck as well for an extra special message. But most important, we have this absolutely beautiful deck, the Northern Animal Tarot. And in fact, it's the last week of November. So we are finishing out using this beautiful deck. I will be including information here in the Sharecast to, if you want to check out this gorgeous deck. I believe there's a version of this deck that is currently available. It's amazing. It has 100 cards in it because in addition to the 78-card tarot, it has a bunch of bonus, really neat cards that really expand the readings. So with all of that said, let's kick it off. I am going to spray a little Fear Fighter. This is one of the aura sprays I work with in my Metatron color healing practice. This is from Angelic Celestial Colors, the Fear Fighter. And I was feeling all the Sagittarius vibes here with the Archer. And really, because we're having this big full moon to illuminate shadow and to really talk about any of those recessive fear. It's all gonna fall under fear. If it's shadow energy, it's going to fall under the umbrella of rooting back to fear as opposed to love. And so really wanting to bring the light to that, shining light on and targeting, really getting clarity around fear fight. This idea of, having the stamina to go the distance this year when it comes to really enlightening and lightening the load as we move into the new. and clearing out. And so bringing in that fear fighter energy in order to sort of set the tone here for our week ahead. We're going to start with the Queen of the Moon Oracle card. And this is actually going to be, I'm setting the intention that this is the Queen of the Moon overarching energy connected in with this full moon in Gemini, also for the empowerment pack. So when we dive into our full moon reading, this is going to be the overarching energy from the Queen of the Moon that we connect in with as well. So we're asking for a card to really highlight for us what the overarching theme for this full moon is. So let's see what's coming forward. My friend and I were just talking about this one. It's getting hot in here. This is the card of extremes. So it connects in with the hot moon, but right away I see card 34 is a 7 energy, and we are in fact winding down the year of 7, the Chariot. We've been talking about it all year and really feeling into this energy of readying our vehicles on all levels. So this is actually perfect to what I will be diving into in the full moon reading, because we're going to be talking about sort of going through the car wash, like this final cleansing and clearing of the Chariot energy as we move into the new. So I am looking forward to exploring the energy of extremes here as it is relating to this Gemini full moon, which is interesting because, of course, with Gemini, we have this duality, these two sides, these two extremes, if we will. So very interesting to see where that takes us. All right, we're going to tuck that to the side so that we can delve into our 5-card spread. So we'll see what we're working with to talk about for Monday through Friday this week. And as always, when we tap into our collective energy, you are always invited to take what resonates and leave the rest. It just never gets old, though, how these cards play up for people all week long in very different ways, but so neat to see all the connectedness of how this energy weaves its way through our week. So these are just placeholders. The Monday card is just marking that, but of course it's kind of highlighting energy for the whole week ahead. So the Monday card coming forward, oh, there it is. Ooh, the Magician. I love this. Okay, what a fantastic way to start a new week where we're ending out a lunar cycle with a full moon in Gemini. Oh, how interesting that we get that trickster of the Magician. Okay, Tuesday is a potential block or challenge this week. Potential block or challenge. See what's coming forward. We have the 3 of Wands, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one yet, but I'm going to go with that's the 3 of Wands because the fox is, yes. Okay, so we're bringing in some interesting energy here again of really contemplating where to next as we move about. So we'll dive into how that could be potentially a block or a challenge. Raccoon and fox so far. Interesting energies. Okay, Wednesday is our midweek blessing. Oh, somebody wanted to bounce out there. Ooh, little 2 of cups for a midweek blessing. So yeah, there is coming together. There is partnership. There is blending of the duality of these two aspects. So things that will be getting illuminated and perhaps coming to the surface through this Gemini full moon, there is this bringing together of the two. And we're seeing that in the 2 of cups as a midweek blessing. Okay, so let's see what we have coming in here for Thursday, which is how we are growing. How we are growing. I saw this last week. I may have been in someone's personal card pull because it wasn't in our spread, this 9 of Swords. So interesting because this is that, monkey mind. This is the hamster wheel. This is the insomnia energy. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I've been having some crazy dreams, some very vivid dreams, kind of some wild dreams. So to me, this card kind of highlights those hours in which we should be sleeping, but there could be a varying results there. So it's interesting to see what is that coming up to show us in how we are growing. And I love that all the zodiac signs are present on the blanket too. And like, you can't make this up. This is the blanket that I have in my bed. I have a blanket that has all of the signs on it. I'll have to post a picture of it, but we're going to delve into that because it's actually a good thing to see this card in the position of how we are growing, because it means that we're moving through it and coming out on the other side, you know, having some wisdom that we have gleaned from this sometimes rather unpleasant process of being unsettled. And so finally, Friday wraps up the week. See what's coming up there. A final card to wrap out the week and also kick off the new month. So this is December 1st energy here as we tap into Friday, wrapping up our week, wrapping up the month of November and kicking off the new. See what wants to come forward there. Oh, she was here last week in the same position. This is the Empress. I love this. So this card, I just fell in love with her last week. This is the one where I played Isn't She Lovely? And as the week went on of really tapping into this, the beautiful symbolism. I mean, this is really cool because, and we'll talk about this energy of what is coming in, like energetically coming in the crown, this inspiration that's intangible, right? That we are able to use our tools, bring down and bring to life, materialization, to actually create something of physicality from what is coming in energetically. They're literally bookending, and that's so magical that they're both showing this as above, so below energy of being able to take the inspiration, the intuition, the things that are coming in as little nudges and little signs and synchronicities and symbols along the way that are actually all tools and materials for you to build with. So very interesting that we have these two major cards anchoring in the week on either side. I love it. All right, let's pull our angels and ancestors, and then we'll get ready to dive in day by day. Okay. So we've got an angels and ancestors little bonus message coming up for us. And I say little, but oftentimes the messages are pretty big that have been coming from this beautiful deck. So just sort of, I'm kind of having this intention about December and the rest of 2023 of what we most need to know here. Some guidance for us as we step into this last month of 2023. A card from the angels and ancestors. Ooh, direction guardian, choose your path. Wow, that is really spectacular. And I can't wait to see the oracle message on this, but there's a lot of symbolism going on here. And there's a lot of power in the fact that we are moving from, again, the year of the Chariot into the year of strength. The energy of strength. It's an 8-year 2024. So we're going to be talking a lot here about what that means as far as the overarching themes, messages, and energy that we're stepping into in an 8-year, which, spoiler alert, it's pretty awesome. Just like this one was. And it may not feel awesome, but 7 was quite the sacred number for us to be moving through. And so again, in the extremes of all things, as much as there is growth, healing, and expansion on both ends of the spectrum, we will experience extremities, right? So that means, yeah, there could also have been a lot of difficulties and struggles too, all a part of this journey. So I can't wait to delve into that card as well. Here are our cards for the week ahead. I'm going to get everything set up here and pop back in here so we can move through each day of the week and these extra cards. Be back soon. Okay, guys, we are kicking off the week, tapping in a little bit to the energetic weather report. And there isn't too much I have here in the guidance that I tap into. Other than I do want to mention yesterday, this is something I may have hit on last week, just kind of teasing that this was an energy to be aware of. Mars was on the scene the 24th and the 25th. So all weekend, Mars has been sending waves of intense energy that's been moving through previously the sign of Scorpio. So all through the month of November, we had been working with that fiery red energy. And so now that Mars has moved into Sagittarius, which is what occurred on the 24th, that energy is lightening and allowing us to feel perhaps a little more at ease. We might begin to see with a little bit of greater clarity that all that we've had to learn and all the ways that we've grown throughout the month is coming to light and becoming clear. And so Mars is going to be if the remainder of 2023 in the sign of Sagittarius. So this is its final move for the year. Like I said, everybody is winding down here for this year, and Mars is no exception. So Mars remains in Sagittarius. And then yesterday, the 25th, Mars squared Saturn. So more Mars on the scene. Mars in Sagittarius squared Saturn in Pisces. And that can be a challenging combination of energy. So it peaked yesterday. However, we can feel this square in operation for at least a week surrounding this date. So I believe I mentioned this last week because I was kind of talking about the week, before and after a week's amount of time, that we could be certainly experiencing these reverberations. And so Mars and Saturn can create, and you can think about in terms of dynamics, of relationships, exchanges you've been having, it can create a push-pull dynamic where Mars wants us to act fast, Saturn wants us to slow down and be methodical in our approach. So this can kind of leave us feeling restless, irritable, confused about how to proceed. Now, I'm seeing that Nine of Swords as I think about that, the card that came up for our Thursday this week. Feeling restless, right? So we may find ourselves butting heads with others or feeling our temper rise up more quickly than usual. I've been experiencing this. I've been witnessing this. I've heard other people talking about this, some tempers flaring, a little bit of butting heads, okay? And I think it's interesting because we do have some powerful symbols on that Angels and Ancestors card that came forward with the bull, with the lion. Of course, we have the bear energy coming in with that beautiful Empress card. So again, tapping into the animal medicine and what's coming forward for us symbolically through the cards, through the energies that we're all bringing here to the table collectively, it's reflected in the stars as well, as always, right? So here we see that with Mars squaring Saturn, which can also be on the big stage, a signature for protests, escalations of conflicts. So of course, this is all very challenging energy, but we can, number one, have awareness, right? That's what this is about. It's always about being mindful, not fearful. Right? As we bring forward the fear fighter energy, we're tuning into the energetic weather report to see, what is happening in the large picture so that we can bring that down to tangible, practical ways that it applies to us in our everyday. So, yes, this energy can be challenging, but it also can be used to make progress on difficult tasks. In astrology, squares are often considered the most challenging aspects. However, they are also where we experience the most growth. So moving through a lot of the biggest challenges can create the biggest rewards in terms of the wisdom gleaned and the healing that can come forward through all of that. And finally, we have, of course, tomorrow's Gemini full moon, November 27th. The month ends with a beautiful but slightly somber Gemini full moon. I remember talking about this at the beginning of the month in the Empowerment Pack, because we talked about how there is a bit of a mixed bag here, that there's a lot of energy that's swimming around, and full moons are a power time in the month for endings, for culminations, for closure, right? It's a final stage in the lunar cycle, and it's representative for us of closing out the month, closing out the cycle. When we're moving into closing out the year, this is the second to last full moon of 2023. So that is the time for us to set our intentions out into the universe. Now there's a mixed energy here with this full moon. So you can use it to release all the things that make you feel confused, uncertain, or unsure about yourself. Now see a pattern here. We've got all these energies contributing to those feelings as we talk about the Mars energy that can create feelings of a bit of confusion or inclarity. And here again, we're talking about how we can actually then take and harness this full moon energy to gain some clarity and some clearing through that. So anything that's making us feel confused, this would be a great full moon also to focus your attention on what makes you feel confident and certain. Now, Gemini is traditionally, associated with being rather social and chatty, but in some cases, we may be feeling more withdrawn under this full moon, kind of needing some alone time, some downtime. So with this end of the year coming in on the horizon, certainly this time of year, we can find our lives a bit busier and, of course, our mental state a bit busier too. Cue the 9 of Swords, okay? So this is that energy. So this full moon can send that monkey brain, of course, I mentioned the monkey brain, into overdrive if we're not mindful. Wow, lots of synchronicities here to what I'm getting energetically. Keep your thoughts in check. Make time for practices like journaling and meditation. Anything that works for you when it comes to moving through significant cycles and energies, that if it's getting grounded, being present, getting out in nature, and whatever other types of ceremonial or ritual things you like to do around the moon cycles. And again, we're going to be tapping in and going deeper with this in the full moon reading that's coming right up for anyone that's interested in joining us. I'll be dropping a note here about that special that I'm going to offer here if you want to come along for that reading. Let's pull up our Queen of the Moon Oracle card and just get right into the heat of it with the extremes card before we launch into our week ahead. All right, so this is the card that says it's getting hot in here, and I always have a little bit of Billy Joel in my head about, darling, I don't know why I go to extremes whenever this card comes up. And we could just keep going with it because now I'm thinking about extreme more than words. Anybody else? You have any other musical references to go with this? Extremes, right? So this is a card where the mantra says, I handle extremes with grace, yet I seek balance in all things. So this is an energy that really speaks to learning how to handle crises with calm and resilience. That seeking balance is superior to seeking extremes. There are better ways to handle conflict than rage and outrage. Again, how interesting that I just said about all this Mars energy, the red planet, this fiery energy that can be causing some of the raging and outraging and all of that kind of extremity of emotion. And we pull the extreme card for the energies building up to this Gemini full moon. So, in that, so saying that, this card also indicates that there might be someone who seeks to disrupt your business or life in some way. This too shall pass. Yes, there has been a little bit of gremlin energy out there recently that I have been personally experiencing. And I feel like there's just a lot of projecting of people with their unhealed stuff on each other, right? And so then you add in, that's coming to the surface through all these different things we've been talking about: Scorpio season, peeling back the layers, drudging things up; Sagittarius season, lighting a fire under us now, bringing in all this Mars energy. People are sort of getting a little hype. Okay. And so, yes, there's this energy of people in your orbit or situations that could be provoking or coming up in a very disruptive way to your business or in your life. It is something to ride out. And again, the guidance is handle those extremes with grace while seeking balance in all things, right? Now, I love that we talk about the energetic weather report. This is brilliantly talking about extremes in the context of how most of us have experienced extremes of weather. Boiling hot days, the freezing of snow and ice. You certainly know that you're alive because the sensation can be so overwhelming or stressful on the body. The hot moon appeared in the hottest time of the year, where the days were longest and the rains less frequent. So similarly, we can experience extremes in life: deaths, job losses, relationship breakdowns, true fears, big conflicts, booms and busts. And yet, this is life. Our situation can change quickly for better or for worse. The hot moon challenges us to build our resilience and reserves of wisdom and calm for those times where things are at their extreme. It reminds us that developing grace under pressure is worth its weight in gold, and that even these extremes, in time, will pass. Wow, I'm really feeling this card. Like, and it's so funny because I just was talking about this the other day with my friend about this card, and I hadn't seen it in a bit. But I am seeing that condensation. I am seeing that energy of, and again, also getting, like I said, some detox vibes when it comes to the physical body and where we might be getting guided to clear. You know, I'm really trying to move away from all of the intestinal references. I feel like I talked about poo-poo for most of Scorpio season, but it must be said that it keeps coming up about toxins in the body and this likening to this energy of things that have sort of percolated or come to the surface, and I'm looking at all the beads of sweat on the back, like sort of like the body's natural way of releasing those toxins and getting it out. And so I feel there's this real cleansing, clarifying, clearing, reset energy that's coming up for the remainder of this year. And so I really feel that it's pivotal on the other side of this full moon, that this is energy that we really have an opportunity to tap into. And like I said, I'm going to get into this a little bit. I stumbled across some really amazing channeled info last night that I'm still digesting, and I took a ton of notes, and I have much to share in the full moon reading. So once again, if you are already with me in the Empowerment Pack, stay tuned. It's coming right up. If you would like to join us, keep your eyes peeled. I'll be sharing the special there that you can come along for this reading to round out the month. All right, let's jump into our week. And like I said, I'm just going to keep the camera down, but I'm going to still put up for us the breaks between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll finish out with our angels and ancestors. Let's take a look. Okay, we are diving into this week with the Monday energy. To kick the week off, it is the Magician, card 1 of the major arcana for our full moon day. To kick the week off, full moon in Gemini, and we have the raccoon energy coming into this beautiful card, the Magician. Now, one of the fun things I can do here like this is I can zoom on in so you guys can really get a look at the card. And I'm going to point out one of the really neat things about the Magician is that traditionally it's the only card in the deck that features all 4 suits on one card: the sword, the cup, the wand, and the pentacle. Okay, and so what that's telling us, along with the infinity energy as we are getting ready to welcome in the 8th year, we have this knowledge that you have all the tools you need. In front of you on the table are all the tools, all of the raw materials to create whatever you desire, right? But it is about mind and matter. So it does matter what energy we are spending with our mind, right? So the way that we're spending that time, and this is really perfect because we have this energy here of this 9 of Swords, which really asks us to take a look at where our head space is, right? And what's going on in the head. But this Magician energy, as it's coming in for this week on the full moon, is really bringing us this energy of knowing that we really have everything we need. And it really is about, and I've said this before, I could say, yeah, but you know, hey, I don't have the money. Hey, I don't have the time, the energy. Yeah, but I need this or that. It's about having these raw materials or having this wisdom or whatever that I have. It could just be a good idea that enables me to use those tools in a way that brings the people, places, and things into my life that help me to complete the magic that I am making. And I see here that this raccoon is dressed in a red robe, so it's feeling like this grounded root chakra, like safe, secure. And of course, it's pointing out too in the Northern Animal Tarot Guide that there's a snake as the belt. So we're seeing that snake around the waist as the belt wrapped around it, one hand pointing up to the heavens, the other hovers above the earth. So in front of them are all the symbols of the tarot, also that represent the elements of this world, right? I always tell you guys, the swords are the air element, cups are the water, the wands is fire, the pentacles is bringing in the earth energy, and of course, the cosmos above. So there is this beautiful wholeness and completion that's coming in here when we look at this card. And the infinity symbol, of course, is letting us know life and time is fluid and always moving. So this is just feeling really powerful, like just this energy coming in this week. This full moon is creating this portal, this opportunity for us to really harness. And again, chariot references, strength card references starting to come in with taming that beast within and bringing together all these components. Like I could just keep going, but I know it's just the week that we're talking about here, but it's not just the week. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely, this is all inspiring me and bringing forward messages that I'm getting that I will be sharing in the year ahead readings that I'll be doing. So really feeling the magic coming in here. We have to have a willingness, though, to use those tools, right? To practice and to know that sometimes we're not going to get it right. It's not going to work out. And now we have information that we didn't have before. So, you know, with all those tools on hand, what are we looking at when we move into Tuesday as it relates to a potential block or challenge? So let's go ahead, bring up Tuesday and take a look. Okay, Tuesday kicks off our potential block or challenge. I'm still a little stumped. I went through the whole deck just to make sure I wasn't missing it. Yes, this is in fact the Three of Wands. And we have this energy of the fox with the three trees symbolizing those three wands, bringing in this fiery energy, and yet they're in this snowscape. So I'm really tuning into, you know, what am I feeling here in terms of, okay, so we're the magician. We have all the tools that we need. We're coming through this Gemini full moon where there is a bit of a somber energy to it, and there's this dualistic aspect of it. And then we turn to the Three of Wands, which is typically a card that's talking about forward movement, future planning, you know, sort of looking out over the horizon and feeling into, I always say it's like ships that have sailed, waiting for my ship to come in kind of energy, waiting for my wave, you know, that type of thing. But I just kind of want to tune into the beauty of this card and just be present with the symbols I'm seeing here. And, you know, this card, as described by the Northern Animal Tarot, talks about moving downhill through the warm, melting snow, so it will be springtime soon. Leaving the forest behind and ready for an adventure. Fully packed, things are moving forward. You have everything for this new endeavor. Now take the first step on your planned journey. And I'm not getting that from this card. So I'm just kind of feeling in the different energies, because if we have everything packed, I don't see it yet. I'm not seeing it here. So I feel like we're actually still in a place, and this is why it could be challenging, actually. It's difficult for us to move forward and take a step into this new journey if we're not clear yet with exactly which way or what we're bringing with, what we're not bringing, you know. And I like to think of it that way. I like to think of, you know, we're closing out a year and then turning to the future and looking to the new as we think about thawing snow, right? Which again, like I'm seeing a pretty snow-covered ground here. So it's a matter of like feeling into whether I would get that vibe, but I'm tuning into the guidance here of the idea that things are thawing out and that there's a change on the horizon. It's not quite there yet. You know, it's coming though, and you start to feel that energy. And like for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's actually moving into the winter, you know, gearing up to the solstice. For those in the Southern Hemisphere, you know, you are getting ready for summer, lucky ducks. So, you know, there is this sort of energy in the air. So, well, what loose ends do I have to tie up before I can go away, right? I've been talking about this chariot energy all year. Before you go on any big trip, you want to make sure the oil's changed, the tires are rotated, you know, the gas tank is filled. So we're in between, right? We're in this place where between from action to action, kind of looking at what do I need to do to ready myself for this journey, to ready all the things for this journey, and then what's coming with me, and really being mindful about that, clearing the junk out of the trunk, right? So that's kind of what I'm feeling. And that can be a challenge, because if you have a lot to do, or you perceive it as a lot, you have a lengthy to-do list, or you look around and you kind of feel overwhelmed by all of the things, all of the junk in the trunk, that can be a challenge. That can be a difficulty because it feels like miles to go before I'm actually on the way, you know? I was just feeling that this week. I mean, we were literally going away for like 48 hours, but packing up 6 people and a dog to leave for any length of time. There's so many moving parts, and I'm longing for that moment when I'm in my, as me and my friends say, my princess passenger seat with my husband driving, very thankful for that. And if I forgot something, it doesn't matter. If it's not in the bag, oh well, we're going to figure it out. So I'm kind of likening that very real life example to how it can be very difficult when we're in the thick of it to see the forest for the trees. Woo! Yes, I see that. I don't know if you guys see that, but we're seeing the forest for the trees. Of sort of getting organized as far as these to-do items. What do I need to do to ready my vehicle for this journey, right? What are the things that I need to prep, unpack, repack, whatever it is, this is where we're at. And that can feel daunting, it can feel frustrating, or it can just be weighing on us because we haven't had the luxury of time to get there yet. So that's what I'm feeling here with this beautiful card. Took me a minute to get there, but I actually really love it now as I'm looking at it, all that we can glean from this energy. And of course, the number 3 is the number of creation, and it's the number of collaboration and coming together. So remember what I said. You do have all the tools you need, even if it is your ability to ask for help, to network, to divvy out things, right? To give other people tasks to do to help you, or again, just to ask for that help. So that too is coming up for me in the energy of the 3, of reminding us that use your tools, use your resources, right? All right, let's jump into Wednesday for how midweek blessing. Okay, Wednesday is bringing in our midweek blessing with these 2 beautiful deer coming together, bringing together the cups energy, and we're also seeing the 2 snakes intertwined. Really beautiful representation of this card that can stand for partnership, can stand for alchemizing, blending, bringing together 2. So yes, this can definitely be relationships, it can be partnerships, business, personal, romantic, and all the like. I'm definitely feeling this connected into to the full moon, to the energies this week that we're experiencing through this Gemini full moon, and sort of tapping into the representation of Gemini as the twins. And as it goes, one twin is mortal, the other is immortal. And that's representing the duality that lives within us all. So we are both a finite human being and an infinite, timeless soul. I can't tell you, just again, how perfect this guy is. Oh, big finger alert. Let me get my wand. Really perfect. This energy of as above, so below, as within, so without, right? The material and tangible versus the intangible, the etheric. And so I kind of really feel tuned in here of this is how we are growing, right? How we are growing this week feels like, again, the blending of these 2 aspects of ourselves and really getting clarity around finding the right balance between and I'm tuning into some of the full moon guidance here about this, where on one hand, we have the human rules, quote unquote. We have those norms that we go by, that we observe, we live by, but then we have our soul selves who are boundless and free. So there's this duality being symbolized here. So as a midweek blessing, could we be feeling a little bit more at ease with those 2 aspects of self, and the snakes for me also representing, you know, shedding those skins. It's bringing me back into Scorpio season and all the work that we've been doing, all the shadow work, all the drudging up, the clearing, the cleansing, the clarifying, which of course these cups bring in because of the water element, because of bringing us into the heart chakra, the feels. We've been feeling it to heal it, right? So I feel that a midweek blessing here is actually kind of stepping into a good place when it comes to having clarity around those dualistic aspects for ourselves, and really being able to sit a little bit with both, you know, and have that clarity. So I think that's on one hand, and like I said, we're going to be expanding on that much more in our full moon reading, but I do definitely feel vibes coming from there. And then we just have this energy of two things, two aspects coming together in harmony. There's harmonization and blending and alchemizing here. Really being ready to open and share one's self freely, but without any expectations for others. So it's really feeling like taking accountability again for our own vehicle, bringing in those chariot references again. I can't control the weather, the traffic, the construction, the detours, the road rage. I'm responsible for me, my journey, my growth, my magic that I'm making over here with my unique set of tools, my perspectives, and I'm bringing that to the table in a really balanced and harmonized way is what I'm feeling there. So that feels like a really lovely energy to help balance out some of that stuff that could have us feeling a little bit off with all that Mars energy, and then also the more heavier, somber side of the Gemini full moon. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Thursday energy next. Okay, before we get started, I had to run upstairs to show you guys, I'm not even kidding, this is my blanket. This is the blanket, literally from my bed, that I sleep with, and then we have the nuthatches blanket. So I'm feeling called out on this one for sure to take a look at all my 9 swords and how they've been playing up for me and what that's telling us about how we are growing. Let's take a look. Okay, Thursday, how we are growing. And we're bringing in that 9 of swords, right? The card that I've been talking about as being that source of that analysis paralysis, monkey mind, hamster wheel, stuff that keeps us up at night, nightmare energy, insomnia, can't quiet the mind. And again, I'm feeling this energy when it comes to these extremes of this full moon energy, of the dualistic nature of like the mental body, the physical body, and bringing in this spiritual component and balancing it all out. And this is something that I talked about actually at the beginning of the month, when we were talking about some of the guidance about these upgrades and these energetic shifts that we've been having, and how, we do have all of these different aspects. Yes, we have our physical body, our mental, emotional, spiritual body. There's all of these different aspects that aren't all getting synced up and balanced at exactly the same time. And the body, the physical body being most dense, tends to be the slowest sometimes to get the memo. So certainly physical aches, pains, ailments, things that could be keeping us up or having us worried or having our minds really active, or just really being in the head and having a lot going on mentally as well, getting balanced and again sort of synced up, as the 2 of Cups was just talking about over there, about really tuning into the blending, the alchemization, the coming together of all the aspects, right? All the while, life, day to day, right? All the things and all of the swords, because the swords are bringing in the air element, which is speaking to our crown, to our thoughts, to our beliefs, to our ideas, all of it. It's not bad. It's extreme, right? It's to an extreme when the 9 of swords are really churning. So there is this energy, and also as we talked about with the energetic weather report, what the heck is going on energetically, right? So I'm here in my little hidey hole, this little nuthatch in the side of the tree, and I can't sleep. I can't quiet my mind. It's just very right here and now in this moment, in this little place. But there's a lot of other things going on all the time that are affecting me that I may or may not even be aware of. And that's what all of this is about, of checking in every week and just bringing in these different elements and aspects for us to have awareness. Oh, I didn't know Mars was busy squaring Saturn or moving into Sagittarius, but now that I do, I'm aware of how the downstream effects might hit me, and sure enough, here I am sitting up in my bed, unable to sleep, So it's really just, I'm making light of it, but it's to say that I had been struggling with over the weekend. I had some sleeplessness. I had some anxiety actually for a 2-hour period. I had a bit of an anxiety attack, which is not something that I usually experience, but it actually on the other side, felt like it was a necessary movement of energy that was kind of creating for me an opportunity to call in all my tools, to bring in the sword of truth, to call in Archangel Michael, to bring in the support that I needed to move me through the experience that I was having. And so also, I'm having a problem with my shoulder physically, and if there's a weakness and it gets worse when I sleep at night, the way that I'm just laying on it, or something is happening where there's this weakness that's happening and this achiness. And today I happen to notice it felt a little bit better. I don't know that it's cured. It's been going on for quite a while, but it felt better. Now, could have to do with sleeping in my own bed versus being away, all the things, just sharing, how it's showing up for me, especially because it's my blanket. So it felt like that's a little indicator for me to have a personal share, that, the headsiness serves a purpose too. It's really about bringing that into alignment and really sort of re-employing all of that energy and putting it forward in a productive way, and one that allows you to have some rest and perhaps peace. But let's take a look and see what the Northern Animal Tarot has to say about this particular Nine of Swords. A nuthatch is cozy in bed inside a tree, while the darkness of the night surrounds the restless sleeper. Swords stacked above and below this cozy bed with warm, thick blanket covered in zodiac signs. This little bird can't seem to fall into a deep sleep and has been tossing and turning all night, full of worries that scatter the mind and have totally disturbed the sleep for the night. Overthinking is very consuming, but remember, you are safe in this world and you will move past this night. Try censoring what kinds of information you take in at this time. Give yourself time with soft music to pull away from all the worries of the mind. So there really is this energy coming in here of, again, growing into the knowing. Where are my tools, right? I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling, really active in my mind and unable to turn this off. Or I'm having this stream of thoughts that I really don't prefer. I don't want to be in this energy, and yet here I am. Where are my tools, right? And so it's about, again, bringing together all the elements, all the things that we have to help us to move through these times of extreme. Right? We will have them. And there certainly are times of the year, times of the month, times of the day where that can be more or less intense. So just really, feeling into how that might be resonating for you. Like I said, this is a wonderful position to be in because this is representing how we are growing. So moving through, being able to sort of take back the position of being the conductor of this trip, that the mind is just one of the foot soldiers, it's just one of the aspects that serves a very important purpose, but yet it sometimes needs to be brought into alignment. So at that time, we reach for our tools, we move through perhaps with greater ease, and that is where Extremes was telling us, where we began, this too shall pass. So hopefully, if that's resonating for you, that you are having restful sleep, and that if you are not, that this is kind of giving you the nudge perhaps to really tune into ways that you can help yourself to navigate that maybe with a bit more ease. So let's go ahead, wrap up the week with our Friday gorgeous girl back again and see what's coming in to wrap up the week. Okay, finally Friday. She's back again in exactly the same position. So what does that mean? When 2 weeks in a row, we shuffle 78 cards and we get the exact same card, same position week after week, it means pay attention. I have a message for you, right? There's something significant here, and it is in the form of this beautiful Empress, another 3 this week. So we talked about the potential block or challenge being that 3 of Wands we see peeking behind her, and yet that was a potential block or challenge that was about what? Seeing the forest for the trees, organizing all of our resources, clearing out the junk in our trunk, readying ourselves for this journey. And the Empress was the one that told us about, what am I gestating? What am I preparing to birth? Recognizing that that birthing process is going to take contraction and expansion and all of the things that lead up to that beautiful moment of birthing something, but not without its challenges, right? And not without its shadow, and not without all these different aspects that come to play as a part of creation. So it's a really just beautiful card. I know I shared from the book last week, so I won't read the whole thing, but there's actually a really beautiful, the final words to describe this Empress, so perfectly aligned with the Magician from where we started. So the idea that we have here, Major Arcana 1 and 3, bookmarking our week and taking us from 1 to the creation of the 3, right? Making our magic, having our tools to create, and bringing it from this energetic place into form, into material. So it says, you are a gift to this earth, and what you make of it must be shared. You are ready to step forward to create. Let it happen organically. Magic can be born anywhere. You have all the resources you need to create. So if we're saying, yeah, but the problem is, I don't have this, I don't have that, this is where we're having this opportunity to raise the bar, to level up, to take it from another perspective that looks at, how else can I use this, what I have, right? These tools that I have, this knowingness that I have, whatever it is. Because again, what I thought was so beautiful about the way that she is here is the stars coming in, showing all of the spiritual breadcrumbs, the inspirations, the energy that's moving from the universe through the crown into the physical vessel, the chariot that is you, and the unique imprint that you make on the world by making it your own. No one else can express that idea, that concept, that energy that's moving through you, just like it could be moving through other people as well. And that's a common thing that we say, well, everybody else is already doing it. You know, they're better than me. They've been doing it longer than me, or they have something that I don't. So who needs to hear from me? Whatever naysaying the ego would have us do. We have this opportunity to flip the script and see things from a different perspective, that's saying, actually, no one has done it like me, that I put a unique spin on something that is my imprint, my way of birthing this concept, this idea, this whatever it is into being. So I just love it. I just think this card is so beautiful. This deck is so beautiful. We've had such a wonderful time exploring it this month. Like I said, this is the Northern Animal Tarot, and I'm going to share information if you want to check out all of the cards, because there's so many other cards in here. The phases of the moon. There's also some really beautiful cards that have like mythical creatures in them and more. So elements, I think, too. So I will definitely be using this deck again. But as we move into December, I have so many fun seasonal decks. So I'm going to be decking the halls here, getting things ready for December. So we'll be checking out some new decks then. And again, I invite you all to come along with me as we move through this week. If you would like a personal card pull for this week ahead, please feel free to comment. I'm going to be doing those, though, on the other side of the empowerment pack. So we have work to do for the empowerment pack. We're going to be tuning in for the full moon. So like I said, anybody who wants to come along for that reading, I'm going to pop here a special offer for you. If you want to get in on that reading I'll be doing, which also culminates into personal card pulls for you. So we do a 6-card spread, we tap into the energies, we get all into it, and then I send you a private reading where we pull your card for the moon. Usually I'll use whatever tarot deck I'm using for our spread, and then also a bonus oracle card for you as well. So if you want to get in on that, I'm going to put the information here. And then as for the complimentary card pulls for the week ahead, I'm going to be doing those as I'm able to here, towards the beginning of the week as best I can, just moving through, making sure that we get to our empowerment pack reading first and then the card pulls. So I thank you guys so much. We still have one more card to go, but I just wanted to kind of round out some gratitude for this gorgeous Northern Animal Tarot. And finally, we're going to close it out with our Angels and Ancestors card. Let's take a look. Okay, final card here is our Angels and Ancestors Oracle card for the week. And I just looked at the first line of the message and it is so on point and how Sagittarian. It says, connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. The Direction Guardian card here represents the angels of direction. These amazing angels are the ones who come to us when we are at a crossroads and don't know which way to go. That is the Three of Wands in the position of a potential block or challenge. So when we're unsure of what is right for us or of the bigger picture, they can help us know what is best for all involved. The Direction Guardian card refers to the vision of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, who is said to have seen an angel with 4 different faces. One was a child, cherub, one was a bull, one was a lion, and one was an eagle. These 4 faces show that angels can appear in many guises and guide us in many different directions, but always for our highest good. Oh my goodness, I'm getting goosebumps. Let me get my traditional deck out so I can show you something after we read the rest of this. So extended message. Your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. Wow. I mean, that is so on point to everything that I've been feeling and everything that these cards have been telling us. I'm actually going to pull out for you the World card, because what that's describing, the 4 angels, is what is depicted on the World card, which is the final card of the 21 major arcana. It's when we've come full circle in this journey that wholeness and completion is achieved. So we have, and also the Wheel of Fortune too. Wow. Yeah, so these are some powerful energies. Let me pull this up for you real quick. Okay, so you see here 2 of the most significant cards of the major arcana. Oh my gosh, goosebumps. So Wheel of Fortune is basically in the middle of the Fool's Journey. It's card 10, the card you see on the left. And then 21 is the final card in the wheel of the major arcana, the big secrets, right? Major arcana means big secrets. And the Fool is all of us, right? Card 0, come here to live this lifetime as a soul, right? In physical form, in our chariot, having these experiences in order to learn, grow, heal, expand on soul level. That's what it's all about, right? So we talk about this year. We talk about really just wrapping it all up as far as this leg of the journey and all the places it's taken us, all the directions. As I was reading that Direction Guardian, I'm feeling like I've mentioned this book before, the Choose Your Own Adventure books, right? From, I don't know, when I was a kid, we had them, and they're actually still out there. Not that long ago, I got one for my son last year, thinking like, oh, he would think this is really cool. You know, you read a chapter, you come to the end, and you decide, do you want the knight to go, storm the enchanted castle, turn to this page, or if you want them to go through the forest, go to this page, and you create this journey, right? You make this magic through the choices that we are making all the time. But what this is saying, just like the magician was saying, there is no right or wrong, right? There's information gathering. I have these tools, I use them, I try them in different ways. I'm divinely inspired. That something works, something doesn't. There's what I didn't know and what I know now, and I move from here with that knowledge, right? So this is beautiful. I mean, this is really, if you can feel this energy of looking at these symbols, this is exactly what this card is saying. It's literally referring to this energy of the 4 directional angels, these guardians that help you to choose your path. And how perfect is it that I was trying to connect with that 3 of Wands to understand exactly how it could be a challenge for us. You know, how could it be a challenge for me to know which way to go, to know where to from here? And here is the guidance telling us, connect in with your deepest desires. How does it feel? What lights you up? Your unique spark, Empress, right? That Empress energy. All this beautiful inspiration that's coming in and what we do with it to make our magic in the world. So it's really beautiful. And just knowing that if we are feeling indecisive, if we're all up in the head, if we're contemplating everything and we can't decide, choose the path that you know is going to make you light up. Choose with your heart, and it will never steer you wrong. So I think that's the biggest takeaway here is that, you know, the wheel turns, the seasons change, new chapters come in, there's endings, there's new beginnings. And it's all a part of this fool's journey. And the thing is, it is a circle. And in the center of it is you, which is what you see in the world. And you see each of those directional angels in every corner, which is literally what this gorgeous Direction Guardian card is saying. Choose your path. And guess what? After that, you choose again. So it's all about this journey, this cyclical journey that we are on, and all the learning, growth, healing, and expansion that happens within it. Choose your own adventure. All right, guys, wishing you a beautiful week. Look forward to connecting with you throughout and hearing how it all shapes up for you. Sending lots of love. Many blessings.